Hey everyone, hope they're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis, updated commodities, work our way through the dollar, yields, precious metals, and commodities, ETFs that I follow. I'll interject my financial opinions as we go through it, and if you need help with anything, check out finding-value.com. That's where I dive deeper into all of these sectors and topics looking for potential investment opportunities. I am a longer-term outlook investor. I don't trade the short term. I do use technical chart patterns to try to time my entries as best I can, and I do use a lot of ratios and market conditions analysis. If that interests you, we do have a discount. Discount is the coupon code to save if you'd like to try it out. All right, let's take a look, see what's going on here. Starting with the dollar and the DXY continuing a little bit of weakness, but these aren't large down candlesticks. They're not just falling like a rock. They are holding steady and slowly moving lower. Yields coming on back. That's what's driving the weakness in the dollar. So that's kind of what we're seeing here in the dollars. Just we've got a rising wedge that looks like it's going to break down, and we don't have a ton of follow through pressure there. The 2-year yield's pulling back, and it does look like it wants to try to break down and out of here, and this could be one of the drivers that pulls the dollar back with it. We're also seeing weakness in the 10-year yield, down another 0.77% today after a pretty strong move yesterday. Is this rolling over? Could we get a rollover here? And it's possible. What I will say is, though, I am surprised that we've got a lot of breakouts on a variety of commodities. And all of a sudden, we're getting a bunch of people running into bonds at the same exact moment. To me, it kind of smells like the plunge protection team, PPT, is stepping in here. And the 30-year yield also dropping a little bit today, down about 0.5%. TYX TNX ratio is coming up a little bit. There we are the past 2 days, and that will help gold go up as this uninverts. So as that uninverts, what we've seen in history is gold going higher in every single one of these cases if that were to uninvert there. Bond prices, I mean, obviously they're moving counter to what yields are doing, but we had a nice, strong selling pressure move there. We gapped up yesterday, and we've got a little update today, and we'll see if we can build any momentum to the upside for bond prices. We are underneath a gaggle of resistance, a gaggle being we've got all this resistance back here, which is support resistance. Think of it as being stuck in the mud. We're still stuck in the mud there, but it does look like we could try to make a move higher here if the plunge protection team keeps buying. 2 and 10, we are up, curve inverted just a tad a bit today. We have been uninverting ever since December 2024, the 6th of December, and we've been uninverting. Now, if this drops like a rock here, that's generally where you get your event or problem or something, and we are kind of real close to that area where if we start to drop like a rock, I mean, that's people running into, quote, bonds, and maybe there is a problem in the market where safety is being sought. Gold up $28.4 an ounce. It is breaking higher out of this pattern to the upside, perhaps. If we can close a few days up here and start moving on up, then I would say, yep, we are definitely moving higher. Another indication would be if we break through this high here and close above it. That's also another good sign making a higher high that is a legit breakout. But this looks good to go higher. I would be long gold. Silver up a little bit, not as much as gold, and we're right at resistance here. We'll see if we can pop through that or not. We kind of got this kind of 1, 2, 3, kind of. It's not a clean looking consolidation, what I'll say, or falling wedge, but we are trying to break out, so that's a good sign. Platinum down a teeny bit. It looks like it's trying to find some support roughly where it's at. And then palladium also down today. getting a little bit more selling pressure there, down 2.17%, going back and forth. We did break out of this falling wedge to the upside, so I'm inclined to still think up, but we could go sideways or a little bit lower in the short term with that bearish piercing pattern that we got today. GDX down slightly, GDXJ down slightly, and SILJ down just slightly, all just under a percent down, so between 0.27 and 0.85% down. They look okay. I mean, we've got these moves up, and then the sideways small red candlesticks today. They're holding on at the moment. And some of them are at support resistance levels like GDXJ, and GDX is above all that. But still looks okay. It doesn't look great. It doesn't look horrible. They just look okay. XE to gold ratio, we did see a little bit of underperformance of the miners in relationship to gold, and we did pull back. And again, we're still at this ridiculously low level. That is super, super cheap compared to history. Crude oil, we are getting some selling pressure today, down 2.77%. We did put a wick at the bottom too. As we go up, we will get these selling pressure pullbacks as we go, but I think we've broken out of the pattern to the upside here. That is legit, and we could get a return move where we do a retest. That is still in the cards. It's still possible. I don't think that we have that candlestick yet, but this could consolidate. It could move all over the place, but I'm just going to say this. We broke out. It still looks good. Momentum's up. The candlestick today is not a reversal candlestick. TTF gas down slightly, but we're in an increasing channel here. It is angled upward. We're staying and sticking within the channel. Natural gas in America, it's being brave today. We are starting to extend away from that support area. The blue line going across, we were in this channel here, trading back and forth. We broke out, came back, and now I think we could break back out again. And we're starting to get away from that blue support resistance level. And we could be going higher. We could be going all the way up to this level up there. You like how I drew that, didn't you? 650, 7. We could even, guys, it's possible if we get a cold enough spell and we get a drawdown that's large enough, I mean, it could catapult us way up there. And what that would be is kind of a move like up there to $14 or $15. That is possible. I'm not stating that is my necessary prediction, but what I'm stating is it's a possibility. And it depends on whether and how much we draw down our inventory levels. XOP, yeah, you know me, we are up today despite the down day in crude oil. So we are slightly higher and we are above this big support level of the neckline of the shoulder head shoulder. So I think that we are still game on, and I think we could go way up if crude oil continues its march higher. This is a huge pattern that's ready to maybe be unleashed. OIH also up today despite crude oil being down. I call that the little bloody nose today. And that's kind of what we had today in oil. But the momentum is heading higher. I will say that this downward move is a big question mark. Like, what the heck was going on here in November and December? But we are up, and it is moving on up. Newcastle Coal Futures up 1.3%. I do think we're trying to bottom here. And eventually we could easily turn this around, or maybe we got some more grindage action sideways. But it is a breakout, a retest, and I buy retests. I do. So it looks good. Physical Uranium Trust, down 0.6%. It is grinding, and I'm sure people are getting annoyed. But that's all part of the game, guys. You got to get used to being annoyed, being frustrated, and getting patience. So big flag pattern, and it's still legit. Too legit to quit. Wait, okay. Uranium futures pricing, it's in the tip there, and uranium likes to play just the tip games, I guess, but it looks good and it looks ready to break on out and unleash the move. URA down a little bit, down about 1%, still at this support still above support. URNM also not moving much of anywhere, still in the support region. And URNJ, yeah, some selling pressure, but we're still in the support region. It's still holding on. Copper up 1%. We're starting to break out of this bigger pattern. It looks good. It looks good. You know, I just want to make a comment, guys. There's nothing that's going to change this. Like, even in the short term, you can get a pullback, but we're short copper. So, I mean, it's going to break, it's going to run, and we need much, much higher copper prices. And here's the problem. If we get larger, a lot higher copper prices, people are going to say, well, you're going to bring on more copper. You know what that's going to do for oil demand and energy demand and all that stuff? We're going to build more mines. We're going to need more steel. We're going to build more pieces of equipment to build those mines. We need so much stuff, it's ridiculous. So my view is higher copper prices are actually an increasing demand for energy. COPX down slightly. Looks like it's not following copper yet, but it's been consolidating sideways here. And I do see these lows kind of coming up, squeezing up against some resistance there. We've got iron ore down slightly. We're still in the massive squeeze in this corner, into that corner there. These big, long patterns like this, where they squeeze for some years, they generally produce very big moves. So this could be a huge Livermore accumulation cylinder. If it is a Livermore accumulation cylinder, which is this guy, we can launch way, way, way up here for the big move of of iron ore. So that's very much a possibility. We've got aluminum up 1.18. We're right at that resistance line that we still haven't broken through yet, but we are up a little bit. Nickel down slightly, not much today, down 0.2%, but still looks fantastic to roll higher here. It looks like it's trying to put in a double bottom within a double bottom. Mu up 0.42%, extending that move higher. Does look good. It looks good to work its way on up. These are the agribusiness ETF. Looks good. It looks good. I like the big bullish candlestick starting this thing off as we move on up. We've got emerging markets. Again, we had slightly weaker dollar, slightly weaker yields. So we were trading sideways in emerging markets. KRE down slightly, down 0.94% today. We can move that. Still above support. TAN up slightly. Again, these are the ones that are all very sensitive to dollar interest rate movements. Lithium down slightly. So, slightly lower yields and slightly lower dollar may not produce a big move. So that's sideways. REMX slightly sideways. These all look bullish to me. Baltic Dry Index was down slightly. Still looks like we're trying to base here before moving higher. We've got XHB. Home builders are up. We had a little bit weaker dollar. So this is continuing to work, or a little weaker 10-year yield, I mean. And that does look like it wants to work its way on higher if yields continue to pull back. Russell 2000 sideways, down or up 0.15. S&P down slightly, and then Nasdaq down 0.9%. This doesn't look good, guys. You've got a bearish engulfing, bearish engulfing, bearish piercing. Those are distribution patterns to go lower for the Nasdaq. So that looks like we could be rolling over with time. SMCI up slightly. This still looks okay. It's holding on there. NVIDIA down 2%. This is a bearish engulfing piercing pattern where we could head lower. Whenever you get to these areas where you start getting a lot of bearish candlesticks in here, those are distribution. Someone's selling into that strength. BTC up 0.17, still looks good to go higher at this moment. Ethereum down 4%, but right above, still above support. There's the support level in the big pattern. I do see a little bit of kind of a flag going on here where, maybe it's something like this going on. Something like that going on there. and we're squeezing in a falling wedge, perhaps, which is bullish. And then MicroStrategy's up 1.7%. Again, I think this is just going to be a move similar to whatever Bitcoin does. So it still looks okay at this exact moment. But that's what I've got for today. Give me a thumb up for the content. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the website. Discount coupon code. We've got a question and answer session on Saturday, 7 a.m. For those that are interested in attending, it will be recorded and will be uploaded to the website when that is done. All right, guys, we'll catch you next time. This is Finding Value.